welcome back to Three Muska Chicks with Bree,
Ashlyn,
and Sydney.
Today's topic of our ABC podcasting is Asses and Antidepressants. Woohoo! On today's episode, we have a very, very, very special guest, the one and only Bree's boyfriend, Josh.
Hello.
Hi,
that was very enthusiastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Would you like
welcome.
it more
I would.
hands up and
Thank you.
We want you to
confetti?
be excited that we invited you onto this episode.
it's
Only
good to be here.
Only special people get to come on our episode.
Oh,
That's very true.
Wow.
yes. Yes. So, Sid,
Huh.
how was your day?
It was pretty good. I
Yeah?
didn't do much. I
No?
just ate food.
You didn't work?
I mean, I worked, but we didn't have a lot going on.
Work?
Ashlyn?
I had a real shit of a day.
That's pretty awful.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like if somebody sat down and shit in their hand and clapped, it would be my day.
I love that saying.
Wow, I've
Well.
never heard that before.
It's so freaking
Really?
amazing.
No. There was no subbing available for me, and I'm assuming there probably won't be until we get back from break, Christmas break. So I stayed home and made some Christmas treats. Yes. Super fun. Super fun.
Josh, how was your day?
Yeah.
Can't forget about our guest, guys. Jeez.
I'd say it was mediocre.
Mediocre. Why?
It just seemed to be a long day, and it seemed like a lot of negative at work, a lot of bad things. But
Bad things. Bad
Oh,
things.
I wouldn't necessarily say bad, just unexpected.
Bad habits lead to late nights. Standing
I love
alone.
that song.
Conversation.
Stop,
with
we're gonna
a
get
stranger.
copyrighted.
Whoa.
Bless your soul.
Bless
Okay.
thou soul.
Let's talk about ass.
Okay.
Great
That's a good way
opener.
to start.
That is great.
Let's talk about asses. Like two beautiful, round, plump cheeks.
Two plump
ass.
cheeks. Two plump cheeks I don't got.
You have some.
cheeks.
Not much.
Oh, I mean, you do a little.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to cheek, if you will, I'm at like a 4.
I'd give you a little more than a 4.
Yeah. You're not a board.
That's so it's not like
Right,
back
the-
to ass.
The scale should be like pencil to like Kim K,
So
Oh.
on a side
I mean?
note,
Kim K.
Kim K.
because there's like too far.
How do you
I
know what
think.
Kim K's
And
ass
then-
looks like, Josh?
Yeah, what do you...
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's
Okay.
a shelf, basically.
Ain't
Yeah.
that the truth?
You can put everything on that,
Yep.
and it'd stand up straight.
Yep. You know her magazine spread with the champagne. I've always wanted to try that, but I don't think my ass is fake enough for that.
It's not fake. It's very real. You have a comparable
yours is.
ass.
Thank you.
You have a nice shelfie ass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's my job.
That is nice. So, what do we think about fake asses then, while we're here?
They're not real.
Clearly.
No shit. They probably...
No, they do shit.
Yeah, I was going to
They
say.
very much do shit. On a side note, though, when Sydney and I were were in like, I think it was 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade, we had a butt reading list.
Oh, yes. And that was all the way through high school.
Yeah, that kept going.
And still now sometimes.
Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
I think...
I remember Little Hope. There was like
yeah,
just
when
a
it's
little
just a little
touch,
out.
just a little plumpness. It was called Little Hope, and we'd look at each other randomly and be like, Little Hope.
That's
I don't
good.
remember anything else except Perfect, which was like...
Perfect. Yeah. Everything
Not
else
too
was pretty
much.
much non-existent because either you have Little Hope
Or you're perfect.
or you're perfect. There's
Or-
no or you
Or
You got
there are
inverted.
certain people
Inverted.
that...
inverted.
Yes.
That was another one.
And there are some people everyone at this table knows of that has a little too much. And they like...
I already know exactly who you're talking
And
about.
they think it's perfect, but it's definitely not perfect.
It's a little too much badonkadonk.
Yeah.
So, we think fake asses are fake, but, like, that's not what I was getting at. Like, would you ever get one?
Would I get one?
Yeah.
I don't want somebody poking me in the ass cheeks with a needle.
You're asleep.
Hasn't your
Are
doctor
you
done that?
asleep?
Like
For
few
ass
times?
implants? Absolutely.
Has my doctor
I guess,
poked
'cause
me
it-
in the ass cheek with a needle? Are you asking?
Where do you get your shots?
No. Not recently, obviously. No, but like when you were a kid, like sometimes you'd get like a shot in the ass. Is that
Never
not
once got a shot in my ass.
It's like the upper thigh,
I think
sweetheart. It's like right here.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Not the ass.
I think y'all
I
are
feel like
fibbing.
you might have some trauma from childhood that you don't know
I-
about.
Yeah,
no,
should we
listen. I guess I don't remember
Sounds like an SVU
personally.
episode.
I don't remember personally getting a shot in the ass, but I remember my younger brother Cubby going, and he had to get a shot in both arms because he was a little behind on his shots, and they ran out of room on his arms, so then they had to put one on his ass.
No, then you do both thighs.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, he went
was
straight
in
to
the
ass.
I feel bad
I
for
mean,
him.
this was the early 2000s.
because he
Yeah.
had. I
Yeah.
want to say it was either Elmo or a Hello Kitty, like little circle Band-Aid on his butt cheek, and he had
That's
the
fair.
shot.
That's fair. May I? May I? Bum, bum, ba,
I was gonna say-
ba,
I
bum, bum,
I
da,
thought of
da,
you when I was going through Central Park.
da. Aw.
And do you know the outside when they are standing on the steps a lot of the time at the courthouse? And they're like,
Yes, I do.
we stumbled upon that.
Where Liv Benson was?
Yes. And
And
I was
Elliot
like,
Stabler?
I go, Brayden, I need to take all this in.
I don't know why that makes me hot.
I don't think the bottom lip bite was absolutely
it was
necessary.
It
but-
was necessary because the thought of that just makes me hot.
I'm like, and there were so many NYPD. I was like, I really feel like I'm in SV right now. Like, living my
that's so
Benson
deep.
moment. I loved
Were you
it.
the DA in your head?
Of course. I literally told Bray, I was like, I wish we would have taken a picture because 4 years from now when I have my law degree, that'd be great to look back on.
I'm God.
Not that I'm getting that, but you know.
Like
Let's
Kim K.
manifest. Let's manifest. Shall
Yeah.
we?
What'd you say?
I said like Kim K.
Yes, exactly like okay.
What is her
Full
law
circle.
degree in?
Law.
She has a lot of.
Well, like-
Law.
No, obviously, but like you have to pick like a.
I think it's criminal because she does like the Innocence Project and gets people out of prison
Yeah.
who were wrongly
Who are
convicted.
innocent.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's actually smarter than you think.
Yeah.
She-
No,
she's
I-
just, you
I
hate
didn't-
on her so much.
Listen, I didn't say she was stupid.
Actually, I beg to fucking differ. I've heard you say Kim K is so stupid before.
I feel that some of her choices are stupid. Yes. But I wouldn't say she's if she is smart enough to pass the bar. Obviously, she has to have some intellectual.
Clearly, yeah.
Yeah. And she
So-
did it in a relatively fast fashion. Mm-hmm. It was like pretty quick. And all while having to deal with Kanye. So
And children.
Facts.
true.
And
children.
Or
fame.
just yay. Not
What are
Kanye,
her three
it's
kids?
just yay.
3 kids?
She has 4 kids.
Four
Four
kids. What
kids.
are the Storm?
No.
No.
No,
North.
that's the other
That's
one.
Kylie.
North.
Chicago.
Chicago. Psalm. And what's the other one?
Are they all just places she's been, or
Psalm? Psalm's from the Bible.
isn't that
Song,
like
like
a
a
place
song.
like in the
Yes.
Middle Eight?
I don't know.
I feel that Josh just came here to have a good time, and he's honestly feeling so attacked right
sorry.
now.
No.
Yeah. Sorry.
No.
It's
I'm
fine.
just trying to figure it out. Psalm. Chicago.
North.
Saint.
Saint. Yes.
That's what it is. You
So
know what? Who
definitely
gives
So
a
not.
that's not a
shit?
place.
We're over here talking about Kim K like she's the basis of our podcast. Let's get back to the ass.
She does have an
But
ass.
she
Well,
has
but-
an ass. That's where that
She do be
came
having
from.
an ass, but let's be
Circle.
talking
I
about
mean,
somebody else.
full
You know who has a
circle.
great ass? Who? Billie fucking Eilish.
I don't really look at her ass.
Oh,
I look at
do.
everything.
I know you do.
Everything. Like, I'm just saying, like, who's the one celebrity that you would consider
Female?
having a one night stand with, even though you're with your partner? That you would let
Female
slide?
or male?
Yes.
Both.
Oh,
That's
both.
Yes.
easy. I can
So
go first.
easy. So easy.
Harry Styles.
Okay, do you have a female
And-
or no?
Yes, Selena Gomez.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. All right, Josh.
Thank you.
Oh, I have to go next.
Yeah.
You're part of this
Ooh.
podcast.
No, I.
You have to give a male too.
You can. It can just
I
be a
feel
man
like
crush.
I know who it might be.
Why don't let's do this? Take a guess.
Okay, so I think for your male, it'd be what's his name? Blake Lively's husband, Ryan Reynolds.
You're a very good guesser.
Thank you.
And yeah,
That's
that's
10 out of
probably
10.
that's probably who I'd
That's a
pick.
10
Yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice. For female,
Why am I turned on thinking of you with a guy?
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa.
We can cut that out.
Do you watch
but
that in porn?
well,
Sometimes.
I watch threesomes
I watch threesomes.
with 2 guys.
I
watch
should
with
watch
2 girls and
threesomes.
2 guys.
Have you ever? This definitely needs to be cut out. But have you ever seen a threesome where it's guy on the bottom, guy in the middle, and the girl on top?
No.
No.
and it's like a sex tower.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's kind of hot.
If this is cut out, maybe we should circle back.
Oh yeah, go back.
Who's your female?
Who's your...
I guess I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Because I don't know, because like Billie Eilish is good looking, but she's got like a, I don't want to say a weird vibe, but like, you know what I mean.
Looking.
Like she smells like Hot Topic.
That's a perfect way to yes perfect.
I don't even care.
Well, that's the truth.
So
Because
Billy?
I know she be wearing that Eilish perfume now. Doesn't smell like Hot Topic.
I just can't get with like the bright neon green hair. I think
She
that's
doesn't
what
have that
throws me
anymore.
off. I know.
No.
It's
She has
just
black hair now.
It's just black now. Well, and like with Kim Kardashian, all she like talks about is like her body and
Yeah.
stuff. But like,
Not true.
Where
Billie,
did
no. Sorry, that's what she like flaunts and shows off.
Okay.
Like she tries to make the perfect body. Where like Billie Eilish will like show up to like some awards in like a baggy hoodie and like sweatpants.
Yeah.
Right, and I have mad
I love
respect for
that.
that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
So, are you basing yours off of more personality right now, or are you going strictly based off looks? Because it seems like you're a mix.
Well, I guess it's kind of important,
It is important, but I guess I should say just looks,
just
right?
looks wise.
Because I feel like Brie,
Oh, mine was both.
yours was
Like
both.
Selena and Harry are just good people, and they're
Okay.
also
And
hot
also
as
hot.
fuck.
You could
That's
just have
fair.
a
You're
threesome
allowed to
with
mix then.
Harry and Selena.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I think that'd be amazing for you.
That's fair. You're allowed to mix.
know.
Yeah.
So you don't have a female. Do you want us to come
You
back to you?
got it? Yeah, because this is...
Sydney's
Yeah, I'd
eager
say-
over here.
I'd-
Sydney's on the edge of her
Eager.
seat. Go ahead, Sid.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so obviously, and it's not even
already
without
know.
consider...
I already know.
I would fuck him every day of the week if I could. Chris
know.
fucking Evans.
But the-
Chris fucking Evans.
Yeah.
What? What?
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Chris.
Okay.
Evans.
Okay. I can get with that.
Christopher Jamal Evans.
Jamal. Is that
That's
the middle
what
name?
Wait,
that's what
time
the
out.
black
didn't know
community calls. No,
Oh.
his actual middle name is Roger, I think.
Roger.
That's so different.
That's so not
Wait,
sexy.
wait.
What?
Can your name get?
Blackified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when the way he looks, unfortunately, he's not dating a black girl. Who also the girl that he's dating is 25, and I feel offended because if I was 25, perhaps
I just turned 25.
Yeah. Well, he's 41 or something.
Jinkies.
But anyway, the way he flirts with brown girls,
And you yourself identify as brown.
I am brown, yes. But anyway, on top of that would be Zendaya.
Oh,
really?
that's a good one.
Yes.
I did not expect this
Yeah.
for you.
I didn't even think of Zendaya.
Yeah. And Tom could join in if he wanted, but
Tom Holland.
Tom
yeah.
Holland.
You got me fucked up with him.
He is so cute and
He is
golden
cute.
retriever energy for sure.
Yes,
sure.
that's the perfect way to describe
That is so
him.
perfect.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
Who's yours?
Billie Eilish,
Well, yeah.
100%. All right, so
Wait,
can
do
my
we have a male?
Yes, she has to.
yes? So question first to preface this: can my male be deceased? Yes or no?
Oh.
I
don't
would say
like
so.
No,
the
wait,
thought
wait,
of
wait,
that.
wait, wait
Well,
a minute.
No.
Not
They-
deceased while the act
Right, they
of
can't
actually
currently
fucking
be- yeah.
said person. I
Oh.
am not a necrophiliac.
Oh.
I'm just asking that if one were alive, would I be able to then?
Yeah.
All right, Patrick Swayze, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you're going to tell me that you want it
Roadhouse.
if it was Ghost? Wasn't he in Ghost?
I don't care what movie he's in.
But wasn't he a
I'm
ghost in
100%.
Ghost?
But wait. You know who else gets me hyped?
No.
You want to know?
Yeah.
You're never gonna guess this one.
No, I don't think-
Harrison fucking Ford.
Really?
Really?
Harrison Ford,
Does the-
Sam Elliott. They're a fucking duo, bro.
Does what's that called? The Indiana Jones?
Indiana
Jones.
Jones. Oh yeah, crack me
Is
with
That
the
gets you?
whip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, are you
On
like
the
a,
ass.
whoa? The
Ass?
Ass on
like
whip
Star
on the
Wars?
ass.
Are you with Star
Yes.
Wars or no?
Yeah. Oh, I don't care. Harrison
Okay.
Ford is just a great looking man. Plus, I feel like he's a great person. Like he looks like I could be wrong, but he looks like he has the face of like somebody who's just super polite and genuine
Very
and
humble,
soft.
I would say.
But like a freak in the sheets at the same time.
That's the best,
Oh.
though.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you figure out your girl yet?
Maybe Ariana Grande.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, I could see
I
that.
could see that for you.
Maybe.
Bree's saying,
what are you
"Oh God,"
saying,
because
God
you're
for?
with her.
Like, out of all, of course, your one female is Ariana Grande.
Can I ask you, is it the long
most
hair?
Petite, long-haired
Yeah,
vegan on the planet.
She's
Vegan.
vegan.
She's vegan?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know much about
And
her.
the
Dude,
That
can you
one- that one is
imagine?
more just like
Like
looks.
this, it just sounds like there's nothing going on.
Can you
out
imagine
there.
if Josh's answer was she's vegan? That's fucking
Sorry,
sexy.
I would have been happier with any other answer, even Billy. Like,
no,
but
like-
it just seems like there's nothing going on up there, and you'd just be fucking like,
No, that one was pure just looks.
oh,
She's cute.
well, guys, to put it out there, I'm a very bodacious woman, so
I didn't say anything was wrong with you. You told me to pick a celebrity.
we're gonna have to cut
stressed.
that out.
Sweating right now.
I'm
Anywho.
stressed. I'm gonna get this stressed.
She has no ass.
She
Back
is,
to
back to
asses.
asses.
Oh.
That's a good segue.
Christopher
Thanks.
Jamal. Oh,
Christopher
my
Jamal Evans has an ass.
he has America's ass, people.
America's ass.
Ain't that the
Ass.
truth?
Yeah.
I would never eat ass normally, but I think I'd eat his.
I
ass.
would eat Harry Styles' ass in a millisecond.
Yeah,
Yep.
Wait, but I'm definitely more on the
eating ass.
no, on the Chris Hemsworth train than
Nah.
the Chris Evans
I
train.
can see that.
I'm
for you.
not,
I do enjoy
but
Chris
I can see
Hemsworth.
that. But no,
I do like Chris Evans.
yeah.
You know who
But-
I like? Okay, modern day alive.
Is this
Celebrity.
person dead?
No,
No, this-
I said alive.
Oh, thank God.
Miles Teller.
Yeah, he's pretty hot. Okay, now you haven't watched Top Gun yet, right?
Not yet. Christmas Day. Baby.
What about his mustache in it? Do you
Don't
find
care.
that attractive?
Don't care.
Because it was kind of hot for that.
Mustache, no mustache. I don't care.
He did a phenomenal job in the movie Whiplash. Have you ever seen that
No,
movie?
I haven't seen that. What's that
Oh.
about?
Movie.
It's basically about this kid who's a drummer, and he joins this like super elite jazz band, and the director's like insane, and he's got like a really bad like home life. It's a phenomenal movie. I would highly recommend it.
I've seen him in War Dogs. Have you seen that?
When did that?
Maybe? Have we watched that with
No.
Mike?
No, that
It's
was
on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
I might
It's-
have to watch that.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty good movie, but it's not the typical genre I would watch. I love an action movie, I will say, but I feel like when I was watching it, it just wasn't my speed. Like, I'm not someone who watches something about arms dealers. You know what I mean? But it was a pretty good. It was a good movie.
Maybe I have.
I watched
might-
it specifically because Miles Teller was in it. Not Miles, like as in mild wings,
Right.
but
Anyway, back to asses. Who else here would eat an ass?
like every day. No,
Obviously not every day.
I am a
Josh is
stiff
raising
arm
his
for that.
You and Braden would
You
have
would
so
eat an
much in
ass?
common.
not a big eating ass. guy.
Hello? You were there for it.
I was.
Hello?
Doesn't it smell?
You get past the smell.
I don't. I don't get past the
Do
smell
you?
unless it's Harry Styles' smell.
And it,
But when you smell my asshole, you don't think poop comes out of here?
right? Are there chunks?
Pee comes out of
What the fuck?
down there too.
That's
Chunks. Wait.
Why do you think we're not
story time.
hygienic?
Right.
No.
Story
Use
time.
wipes.
Story time.
So I won't say names. I'll leave it alone. A certain individual that I went to high school with had this girlfriend that I also went to school with.
That
They
all of us also
were-
went to school with too. Then.
Yeah. So
The
they were
Starburst.
very adventurous in the bedroom. So they decided to put Starbursts in their ass. Getting back to the topic, and she would slowly just like, and then he was right there, and he would just gobble up a Starburst.
That's so different than
time out.
that's so
One time,
different than eating ass, though.
one Starburst was not a
That's the worst.
Starburst.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It was a poop chunk. It was a
Yeah.
poop chunk.
He
That
got,
guy
he got
was
sick
sick.
from it. He got sick from it.
Literally.
He literally got sick from it.
I'm sweating.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
I
See,
thought.
I was gonna say that's so different than eating ass because you're getting a poopy
Well, yeah, because you're eating
Starburst.
shit.
It's so different than licking butthole for pleasure.
Right, because then you gotta sit there and tongue it like SpongeBob.
Oh boy.
I'm
Well,
glad you heard
on
that.
that story, thank you, Josh, for sharing that story. I'm gonna say it's time to move into antidepressants.
Yeah.
I'm depressed.
Wait. I do want to go back for a second, but when Brayden told me that story, I thought he was just eating ass, and it just accidentally. I didn't know she was shoving.
What color
Starburst.
Starburst? I picture pink.
Probably all of them.
Into her bunghole?
Yeah. They
And
went,
then-
"Thoop," and then she would go, and then he'd go, nom, 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 nom.
Oh my
Yikes.
god.
Anyway, antidepressants. Are we all taking our antidepressants?
Yes.
I
No.
did today.
What do you mean you did today? Did you do it yesterday?
I did.
And the day before that?
Yes.
So
I
that's
feel
every
like
day.
we
Wait,
should.
wait, the answer is no.
To which day?
So yeah.
2 days ago.
Why didn't you take it?
Did you
I
miss
forgot.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. I
It
genuinely forgot.
happens. I wanted to suggest that maybe we all go around and we'll take a second to talk about our own experience with antidepressants.
That's a good idea.
You go
I'll have to-
first.
I'll have to sit the bench on this one.
Well, I think it would be a good idea for you to give, as my partner, your perspective because
Yeah.
you've
I
seen
love
me,
that.
I can
you've
like
seen me
chime
on
in.
them, and you've seen me off of them.
Yes.
So, 2018 was the first time I ever experienced being put on, and personally for me, it's anti-anxiety, but that still goes with the A theme, so I'm not too worried. For the first time ever. And I was super okay with it because for the first time in my life, I was feeling anxious and having like extreme panic attacks, like to the point that it was a diagnosed panic disorder. So I was like, okay, I will literally try anything to help me be able to function normally day to day. And at this point, I wasn't with Josh yet. So I get on those, and I really liked it. It was fluoxetine. Any of you know that one? I
Yeah.
think that's Prozac.
It is Prozac.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you know.
And I was on that for a hot minute, like maybe 2 years. And I was like, damn, this shit's great. I am no longer having extreme panic attacks. My like seasonal depression I get was even feeling better. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try and wean off of it because I don't want to be on this stuff my whole life. If I have to, I've come to terms with it. But I was like, maybe I'll try and wean off of it. And I did. And I was off for maybe a year-ish. No, less than that. Maybe more like 7 months.
Fully off of.
Fully off of all anxiety-related meds. And so by now, Josh and I are together. So when we got together, I wasn't on any meds. And up until my 21st birthday of 2021, we went out and partied and whatever. And I get home and I have a panic attack, which was like the first I had really had being off my meds. And I was like, oh, fuck. So I contact my doctor and we decide to go back on, except we try something different. It was Celexa, which is citalopram. And I liked Celexa a lot. But we moved into escitalopram, which is the sister to citalopram, which is, give me a second. Zoloft? No. What's another one that starts with P?
I was just going to say, I don't know how you guys remember like the names of all your medicines and stuff
Well,
like that.
I'm in
You
the
do when you take it every day.
Yeah, you take.
Yeah.
And also,
It's
I
like
work in the
ingrained.
field, so I kind of
Yeah.
know.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But she's like rattling off like all the pills that she's taken for the past like 5 years. And
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
these, you have
I
to
don't even
realize
know
for
like what I
me,
ate yesterday for dinner.
these pills have been life-changing. Like, I am not able, when I'm having a panic, and like, I can't function at all. So when I'm taking these meds that are so life-changing, then, I mean, you remember.
Yeah.
So I think it's Zoloft.
Zoloft is sertraline.
I was gonna say.
Okay, so then it's not Zoloft.
What was it again?
Escitalopram or escitalopram.
Anyway,
So while she looks that up, I started taking that, and I really do like that. I don't really have any panic attacks on that now. I'm going to a really nice therapist, and we have a good combination of meds. I actually take a blood pressure med that helps with anxiety.
Interesting.
That's what I thought. And
Lexapro.
Lexapro, good God. Lexapro, yes.
Sorry. Good.
The blood pressure med, I was like, well, why would I do that? My blood pressure's fine. It actually calms the, like, physical feeling of anxiety, like the heart rate, the shake, that type of deal. So, in, like, conjunction with my everyday anti-anxiety, I really no longer have a lot of panic attacks.
That's so nice.
I would say the
Yeah.
only thing that happens with those is I have zero sex drive.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's quite common. I understand.
Josh
Zero.
can confirm.
Facts. It's
Yeah.
a struggle.
So is that one
See,
of
like,
your?
that's difficult. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, is that one of your like highlights of having
Right.
your experience with?
Right. So like the pro is that like Brie can live like a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
The con is that we'll have sex like once a month.
Right.
Yeah.
And before
Or
that,
less.
when we first got together, I mean, we're talking once a day, multiple times a week.
So it's
yeah.
a big
it was
change.
on average it was like 3 times a week.
Right. And I don't know if that was just because we got together and it was that exciting phase. I really don't think that was just what it was.
No, I not like trying to push this on you, but like
No.
I really think it was the
It
medicine.
100%. It's a proven
Yeah, that's a
side
big
effect of the
Right.
of the meds.
of any antidepressant, really.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that I just wanted to make sure, like, this was when you were off your meds, right?
The first sex-
that you had, like, the most sex drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
So
him
you
and
did
I
notice
first
that.
met.
Because it was
So-
during that 7-month or whatever you said.
Yeah.
time period was when
And
we
then
got
up
together.
it was up until my 21st birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got back on. And you guys experienced that too, kind of?
I don't. Do you want to touch on your experience, or you?
My experience, I feel like when I think about it, is not short-lived in duration that I've been on meds, but short-lived for the experience, if that makes sense. Like, my experience with meds, I've been on 3 different meds, and I'm currently on one Effexor, sertraline, and gosh, what was the other one called? I think it started with a W.
Wellbutrin?
Well, yeah.
Wellbutrin was the death of me. It was the most traumatic experience I think I've ever had when it comes to things like that. Like, and I mean, I've told people about this, but I didn't tell anybody about the depth of it. Sertraline, I just didn't notice anything. And I think, like, being fresh to meds and being new to them, definitely had kind of an effect on that because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to feel like. So I'm not saying they couldn't have worked for me, but I think that because I was so new to them, I didn't understand where it was
Right.
supposed to take me. But Wellbutrin, once I had switched from sertraline, I was kind of noticing that I was kind of more energetic, but in the negative way. If that makes sense. Like, I felt more...
Like hyperactive?
Well, no, because I was tired all the time, but I mean, like, I was so negative that it made it seem like it was... Like, I was kind of energetic about it. Like, I was, like, always crying. Always. I mean, like, I would cry 2 or 3 times a day. It was awful.
Oof.
That's
And I mean, like,
draining.
it affected me so much. Like, and that's what I mean by, like, energetic in that term. Like,
Yeah.
it negatively affected me so bad that I was always acting out in a way. Like, I was so angry all the time. It was awful.
So would you agree that it like heightened your emotions?
Yes. Like, tenfold. It was awful. My last straw with that medication was I was driving down Livingston and I had to pull over because I was crying. I was on the phone with my dad and I couldn't figure out why I was so upset. And he's like, and honestly, like, when my dad gets frustrated, like, out of love, he kind of gets loud. Like, he's like explaining that, you know, everything's okay, and he's kind of upset at himself that he can't help me. So he's like, Ash, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm just sobbing, like, could not breathe. It was awful. I was having this major, like, not like your kind of panic attacks, but like in
An
a different way.
episode
I
of-
was having such an episode. Yes, that's a better way to describe it. That I had to pull over, and I was just sitting there sobbing, like the kind of cry that you almost throw up because you're crying so hard. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And that was when I figured out I needed to call the doctor, because there's no reason that I would have typically ended up like that. And it was heartbreaking. It was awful. And, like, in a way, I feel like I was having kind of, like, an outer body experience, too, because I felt like I was, like, looking down at myself, being like, Ashlyn, like, what the fuck is going on with you right now?
Like, in your head, you knew.
Yeah, and I think, like, that's my worst experience with meds. But now that I'm on Effexor, I feel like the day after my switch was the day that I felt like a weight was off my chest. Immediately, I started taking all of the Effexor, and I stopped Wellbutrin and bridged off like they had told me to. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh my gosh, like this like heavy warm blanket was thrown over me, and like this whole weight was off my chest, and it was like magic. It was great. And I was like, wow, like it was nice to have the confirmation that the meds were making me feel like that, which is what I was
Yeah.
nervous about going on them. But I took the risk like you did and just said, like, I'm willing to try whatever to do what is best for me.
And it's
it
not
turned
always
out great.
perfect the first time, clearly. Like,
Right. And it is hard for me, and I'm saying everyone else as well, that like when you switch a med, like you're taking a gamble, or like you're
Yeah.
taking a risk and making that
And that's
gamble.
where a lot of the, like, med haters get their fuel, is they're like, oh, well, wasn't that a traumatic experience? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you wouldn't have experienced that if you didn't start taking meds. And, like, meds, antidepressants / anxiety meds have been literally life-changing for me. Like, I wouldn't function day to day without them. So, like, it's not easy to find the right combo, but once you do, you can tell.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like literally the same thing with drinking. So like people that like are always hating on like, oh yeah, you gotta take medication, blah blah blah. It was traumatic or whatever you said. You do the same thing with drinking. Like you start drinking at whatever age, and you try it, and if you drink too much, you obviously get sick, and if you don't drink enough, you're like, well, that was kind of pointless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then people can't like hate on other people for trying things when literally that's how you figure yourself out, is by trying stuff.
Yeah. So, Syd, do you want to tell us about...
Yeah. So mine first started with social anxiety. I had some trauma from a teacher. So Ashlyn and I did and I don't know if this is going, but Ashlyn and I did a project together. And it was a really good idea. But I guess people thought we were plagiarizing each other, even though we did the project together.
What?
To specify a little bit more in depth with that, like Sydney said, we did do the project together. We were in separate classes, both AP classes, and in a way they were kind of combined.
Yeah.
We did all the same stuff, and there was a project that came up, and there was no criteria for it. So what I did was in class is I raised my hand in the middle of class, and I asked her if we could do a project with another person from another class, as long as they're different like they're separate material.
Okay.
And they said yes. So after that, Sydney and I worked hard together. Like
It was over.
we've always like
your
been
break
able
or
to
something.
focus when it comes to anything that we need to do. So we got together and we did this whole project, different material, everything. Like we had quotes and explanations, but
That were
like all of the
completely
quotes
different.
were different. Yeah,
It
they
was
were completely
just-
So
different
then how did you
It
plagiarize
was kind
each
of like
other?
the flow. Thank you. But
Right.
so I kind of
because
got
they're petty bitches.
I kind of got the brunt of it because I presented first in a different class. So this teacher called up the project and I started to present and she brought over Ashlyn's project that the other teacher had given to her.
They swapped them on purpose.
Like I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't look quite familiar, but I don't know because I'm awkward and I'm in front of a whole course of people, like a whole class.
Right.
So I like got really red, got really pissed, and I just stopped presenting. And then this teacher was like, I start to walk out. She goes, "Oh, I didn't know it was you." And I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter in my head. Sydney in 9th grade was like, yeah, I didn't know it was wrong to do this because it's completely different than my friends, but okay. And then it became a huge thing. And ultimately, this teacher got her ass chewed out by the principal because, like,
Because she was wrong.
yeah.
And her mom went to bat for us.
Yeah, and then I was traumatized ever since that. I don't do presentations. That's why I hate it. I'm realizing, like, it was the start of it. So then I was on birth control. My PCP put me on birth control to deal with my mood because of my anxiety.
So nothing to do with like a period or birth.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So then that changed to I'm on Zoloft, and I've been on it since like 2015. But I started at 25 milligrams, and now I'm at 75. I did go up to 100. So I didn't have like changes in medication, but but I had changes in the amount. 25 was not cutting it. I literally would like have panic attacks, and whenever I had to be around people.
Like even people you were comfortable with?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not good at like talking about things, so I'd get pretty anxious with that. So then they took me up to 50, and I was like still not feeling it, but okay, I'll try it for like 6 months. Then that was not working, so I went up to 100, and then I didn't have any emotions. Like I couldn't cry.
Much.
Yeah, I couldn't cry, and I wouldn't laugh at like appropriate. I was just numb, like nothing.
I remember that. That was a tough time for you.
That's something.
So last year they took me down to 75, and also I highly recommend getting a psychiatrist because I still have my PCP doing
And
my
they
shit.
work together in a way.
Yeah, I'm just with my PCP still, and it's a new primary, and it's not working. Like I think I need to go.
I have
see a
my
psychiatrist.
primary and a psychiatrist that will work together in what I am taking.
Yeah, they don't communicate, which would be really nice. But so the other thing is when things aren't working for me, I normally quit. So I'm what you call what's the word for? I'm non-compliant sometimes with my medication. For the longest time until about a month ago, I was non-compliant. So those issues of like not having sex drive, I didn't really have because I would barely take my medication.
That's right.
I would have, people would know, like Brayden would know when I was off my meds because I would have irritability. I would be very, Ashlyn's shaking her head yes, because people would be like, are you taking your medications? Because I'd be so pissed all the time. But I was having great sex, you know?
Yeah.
Trade-off.
It's such a hard balance.
But
No,
Go
go
ahead.
I was going to say, and it's not like when we do have sex, it's not enjoyable and good. Like, it still is. It just takes a lot for me to get to that wanting to do it.
And I now understand that because, like, I've been taking my medication religiously now for the past 2 months.
Good. I'm proud.
Thank you.
That's a lot. That's a long
Yeah,
time.
thank you. I'm very proud.
How do you feel, though?
You.
I feel good. Like, I have emotion.
And you know what? Now that you say something, though, like, that you've confirmed that you've been taking it regularly, I have noticed that difference in you. Like, you seem happier.
Thank you.
You seem like you're lighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And normally, that's
like, the little things aren't as
irritating.
Yeah, like, you don't snap as quickly.
No.
You're very, like, even-tempered.
I try. I really realized that when I was on my trip with Brayden. I was like, some of the stuff he was doing was like stupid. But instead of being like, what the fuck are you doing? Which is normally like what I would do. I was like, maybe let's try a different thing. Okay.
Aww.
Uh-huh.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You guys are
That's
growing
big
together.
I know. But I'm also not having sex as often. I'm at that moment where it's like once a month.
Yeah.
And Brayden would probably hate for me to say this, but the last time we had sex, which was like 2 weeks ago, I stopped in the middle of it because I started crying.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't in the mood, and then I felt bad.
And I feel so bad because I am trying so hard for him.
Yeah, and I'm like, but then the SVU plays in my mind, and I'm like, well, I don't want to feel like I'm, being
Right. And
R-word.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
And
I'm
we
not
know
in the mood.
but we know for a fact that neither of our partners would ever force anything.
Right. Immediately, he was like, oh, what can I do? Like, I'm sorry, but it's just the fact that
That's an us thing. That's an our head thing. I
but-
need to be able to feel like I can do this for you.
Yeah.
Right. It's also only temporary, too. Like, this whole like sex drive thing, yes, it may be because of the medication, but you might not be on this medication, if not medication at all, for your entire lives.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Like,
so
once
like this
I'm
is a
out of
now
school,
problem,
it
but
could
not
be
a forever
different.
problem.
Yeah.
Right. Like once I'm out of school or completely graduated, 100% teaching all the time, like maybe even we don't live here anymore and we have a kid. Like life is going to be so different that
Right.
my stressors won't be the same.
Yeah. But now my medication isn't really for anxiety. It's more for depression. Like I get into, and right now during this time of the year, I get
Oh, I feel you.
very, very, very upset.
It really being outside, just the sun,
It does
the
something for
outside.
it. Yeah.
There's just so much like it's 5:30 and it's dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
And where we live, we also don't, we're in a small town, so it's also even more dark. Like when I was in New York City, everything was so
bright.
bright.
With the
So when
lights.
it was dark, I was like, no, it's fine.
Right, it's still light
Will you
until
push
like
her down?
midnight.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, get down.
Sorry, the cat is trying to get at the Christmas tree.
I love you, cat. Sorry.
It's Miss Mochi.
Miss Moji.
Yes.
She has a little
Oh,
Christmas bow
so
tie.
what I was gonna, my 2 cents is, like when I go into work, like I'm normally to work by like 6:30,
Yeah.
and it's dark, and when I leave work at 5 o'clock at night, it's dark.
So depressing.
It's-
So
Yeah,
like
it's a
my
lot.
my daylight is work.
Yeah.
Seasonal
and-
depression hits hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So then when I come home and I have like stuff to do outside, you can't. It's just
And I
it's
wouldn't
dark.
even
Yeah.
really call it seasonal depression for you. I would call it like you get home and you're more tired because it's
I'm just
dark.
Okay,
well, and
so
I'm just
like
missing out.
from somebody who's not on antidepressants, right?
Well, right. So
So-
I was gonna say, being a guy that I'm not on any antidepressants, any anti-anxiety.
Right.
I don't take birth control, obviously, but I give girls a lot of props.
Oh, thanks.
Aw,
'Cause-
thanks.
No, realistically, because I mean, realistically, what do guys do as of taking care of themselves? I don't even take like a multivitamin, which I
I've
probably
tried
should.
to get him to take a
but I don't.
multivitamin.
I
Well,
don't.
it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Like guys just don't take care of themselves like as good
mean,
as
Right.
women do,
Yeah.
and women are much more.
Why do I feel like
I don't want to say much
women
more
have
committed to
but I
it,
feel like maybe I just don't know guys with anxiety and depression as much as I know women with anxiety and depression.
I know Braden has diagnosed anxiety and he has ADHD, but he was given the opportunity to take medication and he was like, nah.
So
I'm not
why?
going to.
Like just curious
He
because
was-
I'm always curious into
I
people.
feel like it's a commitment thing. Like he just
well,
doesn't
yeah.
want to take a pill every day.
The commitment
Yeah.
and also,
But-
yeah, but to have to rely on like Adderall and stuff, and then
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I think if he took it, life would be a little smoother.
So one of my first psychiatrists, I did have a switch in between, but he put me on a medication that was addictive for anxiety. That was like a rescue med that I could take it right when I felt the symptoms of
Right,
a
so-
Xanax.
Was that for the Chicago trip?
yes. So
It
I
was for the Chicago
so
trip.
I reached out, and at that time I wasn't using it at all, but I was like, I want to have it as a backup.
Did you ever use that on the
Yes,
trip?
I did for the plane.
Yeah, I think.
For the plane. Okay. I was about to say.
Lorazepam,
Yeah.
which is Ativan.
Ah, yes.
It's such a crazy thing. Like Brie could like feel like, oh, I feel like something's coming on, and then she takes this little pill, and then she's like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
pill
Amazing.
was
Blows
my
probably
mind,
the
too.
fastest
mind.
working pill with my like panic attacks, but it is addictive.
Like even not even like an Advil is that quick. They say like it gets in your system in like 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, this is like
This was
10
like you
or
pop
less.
it in your mouth.
Really?
And it,
And you
yeah.
feel
great.
Within like 5 minutes.
That's
she's
wild.
like,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah, like for the cruise, we will have that prescribed.
That's why. Yeah, people are.
For the
that's
cruise,
a-
I'm not dog sitting for you.
That was not my choice.
It was my parents,
Just
and they
a
were
little
like,
salty,
"Listen,
and I
like,
appreciate them.
They were like, don't pay this
I
girl.
just wanted to spend time
Don't
with
pay
my
this-
you can
they were
just
like,
take
don't
it to-
pay her when we
my
could
little
do it for free."
Walton.
I know. Yeah. Well, he's been a little bit, but so I see that aspect of the highly addictive pills. So my mom squashed that so quick because addiction runs in the family over here.
Yeah.
Her mom was
Like wanted to manage them, and I remind you, at the time I was like 20.
she
I
was
was
like,
what?
"Where are your pills? I need to have them.
Let me
and
count
hide
them.
from you."
And I get it. I
my.
do get
Yeah,
it
and,
because she
count them to
doesn't
make
want
sure
me.
that
Yeah,
she's
like-
not popping pills.
Both
yeah, but
of
for so
my-
many people, and I guess I should broaden it to America, that's such an issue.
Yeah,
Right.
and
You know what I mean?
Right.
especially in my family, like everyone's clean now, but like there were years where that was not the case. So I get it, I do. So now I only have it prescribed when I ask for it for like
Yep.
trips,
Yep.
and I've replaced that with the blood pressure med, the propranolol, which
Okay.
is non-addictive. So I see that aspect for sure. That's scary.
Yeah. On a side note, when I got into a car accident a few years ago, I had some severe bruising, like right across my stomach area, and a little bit on my collarbone from the seatbelt. So from the impact, we had T-boned somebody. They ran a stop sign when we had the right of way, and we T-boned them, and like the seatbelt forced itself right into my stomach area, and I had like the bruising that gets really purple.
Yeah.
So that's what I had, and they gave me an antibiotic for that. Not antibiotic. Is it technically an antibiotic? It started with an N. I don't remember the name of it.
Narcotic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a narcotic. I think it was, but I think it was an addictive medication. It was a pain
That's
reliever.
a narcotic.
Yeah, a narcotic.
Okay, so they gave me a narcotic, and I never once used it because I was like, I would rather.
Was it like Vicodin?
No, it started with an N. Netroprazole, Neprazole, or something like that. But I would rather deal with the pain than deal with the the possibility of becoming addicted to it.
No, I have had a couple surgeries: my knee surgery, my endometriosis surgery, and just getting my wisdom teeth out. All of the times they try to send me home with Vicodin, and I don't even take it. I say I will alternate Tylenol and ibuprofen. I don't take it home.
Well, but didn't you have a bad experience with?
Yeah. For one of my surgeries, they gave me too much Vicodin when I had waken up, and I felt high and awful, and I threw up all over the place after waking up from a surgery where they went into I had incisions in my abdomen, so it was
Oh my
really
gosh.
painful to throw
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
My
Narcotics
sister
are
did the
scary.
same thing. Like, I remember something happened. She has she suffers from PCOS. She gets cysts
I
on
have
her
that.
ovaries.
Yeah.
And one of them ruptured.
Oof.
Oh,
And so she was in a tremendous amount of pain. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with that.
I've had cysts. None of them have ruptured.
Yeah, so hers have, and it's severe pain. And she was given Vicodin for it. And I remember I was like 12, I think, 13. And my parents were at work, so I was like, well, I'll just stay with her because it's summertime, so I'll just go with her just so she has somebody with her, you know. So she took a Vicodin, and she was making scrambled eggs. And all of a sudden she got, I went to the bathroom, I came back down, she's sitting on the floor. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, the floor is so nice.
It's hard stuff.
She
Yeah.
was so high. And I'm like, Jessica, you got to get up. She's like, I can't. And she was dead serious too.
yeah.
Well, and even some people, literally all it takes is a quarter piece of a Xanax.
Oh, yeah.
For them to get that kind of high.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
there's this gene testing, so it shows you a lot of people that I work with, clients, when medication's not working for them, we refer them to gene testing because it shows you how your body reacts and how fast medication can interact with your body.
Mm-hmm.
So some people,
Seen that.
it takes a long time.
My psychiatrist recommended that for me.
Yeah.
My psychiatrist
At my clinic.
at your clinic told me that I didn't need the gene test because it would only tell him how much of a medication he needed.
I know that psychiatrist, and he no longer works at the clinic I work
Yep.
at. He works at a
Luckily, I
different clinic.
have a better one.
I have
Is
a
she
good
currently
recommendation too.
on
Yes.
maternity leave?
Yep.
Who's your rec?
Danielle Ross.
I've heard of her.
She just started a private practice coming out of the Chautauqua Center.
Yes.
I would also like to be made. Wait, let me start that
Be
over.
made? I think you're already made.
I think that already happened.
Yeah.
Let me start that over. I would also let everyone know that I'm already feeling this drink, and I'm happy about it.
Looks like we're going to be driving to dinner. We're having Christmas punch.
We're driving to dinner.
Yeah, I thought like DoorDash was bringing that shit.
Oh, okay. That's fine with me.
I,
If we
too-
don't have to leave the house. Let's finish up your
Okay.
antidepressants and probably close it out. Well, you
Was
were
the
talking
laugh.
about how he could probably use them and is afraid.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he could use antidepressants. More like the Adderall. Because,
Focusing.
yeah.
Yeah. One of my closest friends from high school has issues focusing and has tried medication like Adderall and has actually really helped her
Yeah.
through college.
I
So
think it would help. But I guess everyone needs to do what they need to do best for
Yeah.
their bodies.
yeah.
See,
So
but, like,
here's
I-
4 different perspectives. One, very different levels of like Josh, who doesn't take anything, myself, Sydney, and Ashlyn.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's different for everyone, and you just have to find the right combo. If it's good for you, if it's not, if you don't need it, if you do, like.
One of my favorite sayings is, well, now I can't remember, but like when you go
My favorite saying, I don't remember it, but
when you go shoe shopping, sometimes the shoes don't fit the first time, and you have to try it again and again until you find your perfect pair.
Yeah.
And I like to tell that to anyone who's thinking or discouraged by their medication or their
Yeah.
experience with a therapist or anything.
That's a
Sometimes they're not a good fit.
Especially therapy. I've gone
Oh,
through
yeah.
several
Yeah.
different therapists, and it's very difficult for me. I just recently found a therapist that was the best fit for me, and it was. I only luckily went through 2 therapists, which is probably less than a lot of people can say.
Oh,
yeah.
for sure. I was
But-
going to suggest we do therapy for
works.
tea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Stay
going to check.
tuned for that one.
Is if we have therapy for tea. So let's talk about next week's episode is obviously going to be the topic of B, if you know the alphabet. If not, you need to come and I can teach you. We will
and I
be-
can teach you because she's a teacher.
Yes. So now, I mean, guys, it's going to be Christmas is going to be over by the time we record next week. So
Right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the whole 9.
All right, and we'll be back next week. See ya.
Bye.